We now continue into 1 Corinthians chapter 2, where Sha'ul deliberately rejects fleshly impressiveness so that faith will rest on the Spirit's power and not on the wisdom of man. This chapter does contain explicit Tanakh groundings. Isaiah 64 verse 3 and Isaiah 40 verse 13. These references support the burden of the chapter with precision. Isaiah 64 verse 3 points to Yehovah's acts that surpass human expectation and natural discovery, which align with Sha'ul's emphasis on the hidden wisdom of God, now revealed by the Spirit. Isaiah 40 verse 13 establishes the unsearchable counsel of Yehovah, which no man can instruct or master by his own intellect. Together they reinforce Sha'ul's point. Divine truth is not seized by human brilliance. It is revealed by the Spirit of God. Weakness to cross, to hidden wisdom, to spirit revelation, to spiritual discernment, to mind of Messiah. The Spirit reveals what man's wisdom can never uncover. Yehovah, empty us of confidence in the flesh. Teach us to receive what your Spirit reveals. Anchor our faith in your power and not in man's wisdom. Yehovah, El Roi, the God who sees and makes known what man cannot discover on his own. Yehovah, El Roi, Kadosh, 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 holy, holy, holy. Please fill me and lead me and cover me and stir me and speak through me with your Ruach HaKodesh, your Holy Spirit, your set-apart breath, that it may speak your written words with boldness and humility to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, the Messiah, the Anointed, the Aleph Natav's name. Amen. We'll start with the Shema. Listen and obey. Children of Yehovah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity, echad, with himself, and you shall act upon your love, ahava, to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. Yod, Hey, Vav, Hey. Hand, behold, nail, behold. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. As for me, brothers, when I arrive among you, it is not with surpassing eloquence or wisdom that I came announcing to you the previously concealed truth about God. For I had decided that while I was with you, I'd forget everything except Yeshua, the Aleph Natav, the Messiah, and even him only, as someone who had been executed on a stake, the cross, as a criminal. Also, I myself was with you as somebody weak, nervous, and shaking all over from fear. And neither the delivery nor the content of my message relied on compelling words of wisdom, but on a demonstration of the power of the Spirit, so that your trust might not rest on human wisdom, but on God's power. Yet there is a wisdom that we are speaking to those who are mature enough for it. But it is not the wisdom of this world or this world's leaders who are in the process of passing away. On the contrary, we are communicating a secret wisdom from God, which has been hidden until now, but which, before history began, God had decreed would bring us glory. Not one of this world's leaders has understood it, because if they had, they would not have executed the Master from whom this glory flows. But, as the Tanakh says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no one's heart has imagined all the things that God has prepared for those who love him. It is to us, however, that God has revealed these things. How? Through the Spirit. For the Spirit probes all things, even the profoundest depths of God. For who knows the inner workings of a person except the person's own spirit inside him? So, too, no one knows the inner workings of God except God's Spirit. Now we have not received the Spirit of the world, but the Spirit of God, so that we might understand the things God has so freely given us. These are the things we are talking about when we avoid the manner of speaking that human wisdom would dictate, and instead use a manner of speaking taught by the Spirit, by which we explain things of the Spirit to people who have the Spirit. Now the natural man does not receive the things from the Spirit of God. To him they are nonsense. Moreover, he is unable to grasp them, because they are evaluated through the Spirit. But the person who has the Spirit can evaluate everything, while no one is in a position to evaluate him. For who has known the Aleph Tav Spirit of Yehovah? Who will counsel him? But we have the mind of the Messiah. What is the Hebrew word that encapsulates this chapter? Ruach, Spirit. The breath and revealing power of God, who searches the deep things of Yehovah and makes them known. Tanakh spine. Isaiah 64 verse 3, Isaiah 40 verse 13. These references hold up the chapter's argument from both ends. Isaiah 64 verse 3 shows that Yehovah acts beyond what human eyes have seen or minds have anticipated. Isaiah 40 verse 13 declares that no one can search out or instruct the spirit and counsel of Yehovah. Sha'ul therefore grounds the chapter in covenant reality. The things of God are neither invented by man nor unlocked by eloquence, but given through revelation by the Spirit. Chapter flow. Sha'ul reminds the Corinthians that when he first came to them, he did not arrive with superiority of speech or polished displays of wisdom. He made a deliberate choice to know nothing among them except Yeshua, the Messiah, and him crucified. His presence among them was marked by weakness, fear, and much trembling, which means the message was never meant to rest on the force of personality. His speech and proclamation were not framed to win admiration through persuasive technique. Instead, they came in demonstration of the Spirit and the power so that faith would stand on God's power rather than on human wisdom. Yet Sha'ul clarifies that he does not speak wisdom, but not the wisdom of this age or of the rulers of this age who are passing away. He speaks the wisdom of God in a mystery, a hidden wisdom, ordained before the ages of our glory. The rulers of this age did not understand it, for if they had, they would not have crucified the Master of glory. Then Isaiah is brought forward to show that what Yehovah has prepared surpasses natural sight, hearing, and human imagination. But these things have now been revealed through the Spirit, because the Spirit searches all things, even the deep things of God. Sha'ul then argues by analogy, just as a man's inner thoughts are known by his own spirit, so the things of God are known by the Spirit of God. Believers have received not the spirit of the world, but the Spirit who is from God, so that they may understand that what has been freely given. These truths are spoken not in words taught by human wisdom, but in spirit-thought words. Join spiritual truth to spiritual people. The natural man does not receive the things of the Spirit of God, for they appear as foolishness to him. He cannot rightly discern them because they are spiritually evaluated. By contrast, the spiritual man discerns all things, through he himself is not rightly judged by the natural standard. The chapter closes by drawing from Isaiah again. No one has instructed the mind of Yehovah, yet in Messiah the assembly has been given the mind of Messiah. Weakness, embraced to mystery, revealed to spirit given, to discernment formed, to Messiah's mind received. Core theme. Sha'ul's burden here is to sever the Corinthians from confidence in presentation, polish, and natural intelligence. He does not deny that wisdom exists. He denies that the wisdom of God can be reached through the machinery of the flesh. The kingdom does not arrive by rhetorical mastery. It arrives by revelation through the Spirit. This chapter is a direct rebuke to every attempt to handle holy things as though they are They were merely intellectual matters. Man can analyze language, structure, arguments, and impress audiences, yet still remain blind to the deep things of Yehovah. Sha'ul therefore insists that the true faith must rest on God's power, not on the felt strength of the messenger. The chapter ends with a staggering gift. Those who belong to Messiah are not left in darkness. Through the Spirit, they are brought into real participation in divine understanding, not exhaustive knowledge, but true covenantal discernment. The assembly is meant to think, judge, and perceive through the mind of Messiah, rather than through the instinct of the age. How can we learn to love Yehovah with all our heart, soul, mind, and strength? We can love Yehovah by rejecting confidence in natural brilliance and depending on His Spirit to teach what is true. Love Yehovah by receiving the crucified Messiah as the center of all wisdom, instead of chasing impressive speech. Love Yehovah by yielding our minds to His revelation so that faith rests in His power and not in man. How can we learn to love our neighbors as we love ourselves and as Yeshua loves us? Speak plainly enough that the cross stays central and people are not dazzled by the vessel. Help others discern spiritual truth instead of overwhelming them with fleshly display. Treat believers as those who need revelation, patience, and spirit-shaped nourishment. How can we bear one another's burdens? Walk with those who feel weak by reminding them Yehovah works through trembling vessels. Help one another test whether our confidence is in God's power or in human impressiveness. Pray that the Spirit would open hearts to understand what Yehovah has freely given. What are the top 3 fruits of the Spirit found in this chapter? 1. Discernment, binah. This chapter trains us to distinguish between natural wisdom. This chapter trains us to distinguish natural wisdom from Spirit-given understanding. 2. Humility, anava. Sha'ul refuses self-display so that all confidence will rest in Yehovah's power. 3. Faithfulness, emunah. We are called to remain anchored to the revealed wisdom of God and not drift back to worldly measures. What is the mitzvah response, Torah-based? Deuteronomy 29, verse 29. The secret things belong to Yehovah our God, but the things that have been revealed belong to us and to our children forever, so that we can observe all the words of this Torah command. We will receive with humility what Yehovah reveals and walk in obedience instead of trusting human wisdom. Hebrew declaration, Lo, bichotmat, odam, ne lech, ki em, biruach, Elohim, et sod. Yehovah ni vachesh, o vadaat, ha-mashiach, na-amod, imotenu, tachum, bi-guvorat, Elohim. We will not walk in the wisdom of man, but in the Spirit of God. We will seek the secret counsel of Yehovah and stand in the mind of Messiah. Our faith will rise in the power of God. What is the one-sentence summary? The Spirit reveals God's wisdom beyond man's reach. Now, after having read the chapter and going over it, here are some heart-piercing questions. Where am I still relying on intellect or presentation more than the Spirit of God? Another. Do I truly believe the cross is enough without adding fleshly impressiveness? Another. What signs show my faith is resting on man rather than on God's power? Another. Am I trying to master holy things without humble dependence on revelation? Another. How can I better receive what Yehovah has freely given rather than striving to prove myself? Another. In what areas do I need the mind of Messiah more than the instincts of this age? Lastly, how can we help one another grow in spiritual discernment this week? We'll end with the Arianic blessing using the name. Yehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and He will guard you with a hedge of protection. Yehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he'll provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Yehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you, set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Shalom, shalom. We now continue into